y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now? Man, I'm sipping on this Long Island. Just wishing I was somewhere laying on an island. I'm feeling good rolling through the hood. My city loving me just like I knew they would. It took some time, but now I'm on top. I'm steady making moves cause I can't stop. So when you see me, give me my props. Before I say the word and your career stop. Now every day is like a celebration. Remind me of the hard times we was facing. When I was young, I always had this dream to make it big and be up on a winning team. I get respect from everywhere I go. From 70 up top to 85 below. Now pop a bottle of some Martell. Now sit back and watch how my ship sails. I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now? I roll around feeling like a champ. I'm validated so I don't need a stamp. I'm working hard trying to reach my goals, but haters telling me that I was too old. But Kelly Ray said make your daddy proud. Now represent, cause you his only child. So now I'm focused pedal to the metal, switching lanes, doing things, about to reach my highest level. I'm thanking God cause he knew my plan. I put my trust in him, I never trust a man. I got respect for everybody grinding. Shout out to OG Rip, this was perfect timing. What up, homie? So put your bottles up and take a sip. Now grab a mic and show them how to make a hit. I'm finally playing on your local station. I guess I made it big, it's a celebration. I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now?
Look, let's start it. I'm way too cool. I wish I would've known that when I was in school. Lack of confidence that kept me back. 4 years later, oh, I definitely got that. 2 cars, a house, and a beautiful wife. To me, these are my successes in life. Been working for my company for 7 years. Promotion every 2, yeah, real stunting's here. Check me in the city, it ain't hard to find me. Volunteer events, won't you join in the grind? Make the world better, that's my goal. I really am kind, check my soul. What's my name? I'm Dario. Shout out Juicy J, I borrowed the flow. Wanna change the world? Ask me how. Come with me, let's get big now.
I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. Man, y'all gon' love me when y'all hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how you like me now? I think I'm big now. I think I'm about to shut the whole city down. And they gon' love me when they hear the sound. I'm about to make it big, so how y'all like me now?
Like, man, look here, man. Look here, bro. I'm really enjoying what you're doing, bro. I mean, I don't care about the $5. I mean, not really. I mean, I do, but I just want to hang out with you, man. Just take this journey with you, man. All over the world, man. You really doing your thing, man. And I'm so proud, man. So proud, man. Can I get like $2.50? Nah, I'm just saying. $1.50? Come on, man. Let's go, man. I'm out of here, man. All right, man, though. Black Dog, what's up, man? Here, man. Now, I've been following you for a long time, brother. And it look like you're starting to do good for yourself. You're doing good, bro.
Welcome in to Radio Dario episode 8. Thank you guys for tuning in with me today. As you can see, we got our normal lineup going. We're like with the new adjustments, 3-minute time clock on everything that we're doing here. Let us know, drop some stuff in the chat if you have any question or comments. We're gonna try to make this as interactive as possible. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So going over the game picks from last week, I finished off 2-2 for the game picks that we had. Just as a review for those that may not remember those game picks, we picked the Cowboys and Rams game, which we picked the Cowboys to win that. We picked the Falcons versus Bucks. We picked the Falcons to win, but the Bucks won, which we're going to get into that a little bit later, what I thought about that game. For the Steelers versus Bills, we picked the Steelers to win, and the Bills mollywopped them. And then for the Dolphins versus Jets, we picked the Jets to win, which the Jets did win. Unfortunately, Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, and they had to go to their third-string quarterback. Somebody just came online and said Bills Nation. Yeah, we're not rocking with that, which we're going to touch on that here in a little bit as well. Forgot to start the time clock. We got that rolling. So those are our picks from last time. As we did, we changed up the format so that way we can focus more so just on specific games. Here moving forward, we're just going to focus on the primetime games. So that's Sunday night football, that's Monday night football, and that's the Thursday night football. So those are the 3 games that we're going to be picking moving forward. We're going to just pick the primetime games. Going into the next topic, around the NFL. So around the NFL, what we saw last week was we saw some pretty bogus calls, especially when it came to that Falcons versus Bucks game. If that's how they're going to call the game when it comes to sacking a quarterback, it is going to impact the integrity of the game. You might as well put flags on the quarterback and just make it flag football when it comes to sacking the quarterback, because you can't tackle, which this is a tackle sport. And if you can't tackle the quarterback, then there shouldn't be any sacks. That is the only way to solve that issue of not tackling the quarterback, because what happened with Tom Brady should not have been roughing the passer, and what happened with Derek Carr should not have been roughing the passer. Looking into just the games overall last week, I think pretty much all the games pretty much lined up how they were expected. I had more hopes for the Steelers versus Bills. I was hoping to try to guess the upset there, but the Bills took care of business. It was a pretty easy going for them. So that was pretty much it. As we go into the next topic here, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the Chiefs review, because that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about some of the things we saw in that Chiefs game. So, Chiefs versus Raiders came down to a really, really great game. The Chiefs barely won by a couple of points there. But we had a lot of things that were going against them. Honestly, in my opinion, that was one of the worst officiating games I've ever seen. And that's not even me just being a complete Chiefs homer. Like, even looking at the holding call for the Raiders when we kicked the field goal and we missed, then there was this phantom holding call on the field goal. That's a call that hadn't been made since 2016 in the NFL. That is very suspicious to me. I mean, the referees was pulling out any kind of penalties all throughout that game. I mean, you could kind of go either way on the catch. It wasn't a catch for Devontae Adams down the stretch there. But I mean, Chris Jones has got to be the first guy ever to get a roughing the pass penalty while holding the ball. That was ridiculous. It was uncalled for. It made the game less enjoyable, and the fans booed like crazy, and they absolutely deserved to. That was the right thing they should have been doing to those referees that entire game. Honestly, they shouldn't have stopped booing the referees. But one thing I want to really touch on is that game ended with Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow running into each other, colliding, and the Raiders choked it away. The chokeland faders, right? They just completely gave that game up. And Derek Carr didn't throw the 2 interceptions like I thought he would, but Derek Carr still looked like Derek Carr to me throughout that entire game. I believe the reason why they ended up colliding, Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow got an amazing release off the line. Devontae Adams, who is like Mr. Beat press coverage, did not. We had a rookie 4th round pick in there guarding Devontae Adams on that last play because Rashad Fenton got hurt. And honestly, if you saw the game earlier on, Rashad Fenton was burnt toast when it came to guarding Devontae Adams. And Josh Williams was able to get a hand on Devontae Adams off the line and get a little bit of press there, which I strongly believe that threw off the timing in that game. Threw off the timing in that route, and what ultimately led into Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams colliding with each other. So that was a big time play by a young guy coming in the game and just trying to make an impact. So really impressed with that. Ultimately, it was a really great game for Chiefs-Raiders rivalry, for it to come down to the stretch like that. But come on, we all knew who was going to win that game from jump. I mean, even when we were down 17-0, I was sending text messages to my Raider people that, yeah, y'all done. We still gonna win. So that is it for that topic. Let's go, Dario. Let's go on to the next topic. So Chiefs preview. Looking at the game today, Chiefs versus Bills. I see there in the comments we got Soup going ahead and shouting out 42-21. Chiefs over the Bills. That's what I like to see. You know we Chiefs fans here. I'm rocking with the Chiefs. Also, I see a Raiders fan logging in here saying we should have gave the ball to Jacobs more. Just going back to that, Jacobs did run the ball really well against the Chiefs. They should have kept going to it, but they didn't, and that's on their coaching. For the Chiefs versus Bills, this is what I foresee happening because Rashad Fenton is still out, and we're starting the rookie corner, Joshua Williams. So we got 2 day 3 picks starting out on our outsides. You have Jalen Watson and you have Josh Williams. Now, I believe the Bills are going to see that, and they're going to try to take advantage with Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs. They're going to try to attack those young corners and see what they can do. But one thing I have noticed about these young corners is they get up close and physical. They are going to be very physical at the line of attack when it comes to guarding. Chiefs been playing. It's been no consistency. Oh yeah, the Chiefs. The way the Chiefs been playing, it's no consistency. I agree. We haven't really been consistent any kind of way. One game we've ran the ball really successfully, and another game it seemed like we forgot we even had running backs. But I believe those rookie corners are going to come and step up today. I believe Josh Allen, who is supposed to be the best quarterback in the league, obviously not, because Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, but that's what everybody keeps talking about is the mystique of Josh Allen and how great Josh Allen is and how he's mobile, how he throws, has such a strong arm, and he has those weapons out there. Yeah, I think we're going to shut that down today. I think those rookie corners are going to surprise everybody and how they perform out there. And I believe they got the matchup there, but I'm telling you right now, they don't. The Chiefs are down a starting defensive lineman, they're down a starting linebacker, and they're down 2 starting corners, and their nickel package safety and Cooks is hurt as well with a concussion. So we're down a lot of starters and a lot of people that play on our defensive side of the ball, and I believe the Bills think they're going to be able to take advantage of that. But I'm telling you right now, it's not happening like that. That's my call right now. A lot of news players, they'll get their stride mid-season. A lot of new players, oh yeah, absolutely. Soup made a good point there for some of the inconsistency that we have there with the Chiefs. There are a lot of new players. This team is one of the youngest teams in the NFL. And for them to still be able to be as successful as they are with that youth just shows to the culture that we have there in Kansas City. And that's all led by the big man, Big Red, Andy Reid. So going on into the next topic here, we have our game picks, our primetime game picks. Let's see. So for our primetime game picks, that's Sunday Night Football, that's Monday Night Football, and we're also going to go ahead and pick Thursday Night Football for next week. Folks believe this Allen's year to take over without absolutely doing it. Yeah, no, absolutely. Josh Allen still has to prove himself. For everybody that believes Josh Allen is the guy, and that he's going to do all these great things. He hasn't won an MVP. He hasn't made it to the Super Bowl. I was going to say he hasn't won a Super Bowl. He hasn't even made it to a Super Bowl. Until he can do some of those things, I'm not even putting him nowhere near the conversation of Patrick Mahomes. For the primetime games, we got Cowboys versus Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles to remain undefeated tonight. As much as I would love for Cooper Rush and the Cowboys to beat the Eagles, just to put more pressure on Dak Prescott to be successful when he comes back, I don't believe that the Cowboys are going to win tonight. I believe the Eagles are going to go ahead and get that dub and remain undefeated. For Monday Night Football, we have the Chargers versus Broncos. And the Broncos are terrible. They're bad. Honestly, I would put them at the bottom in the AFC West, but the Raiders can't find a way to win a close game at the end. So that's why the Raiders are crowned that. But I believe the Raiders are actually a better team than the Broncos. So I got the Chargers beating the Broncos there. And then Saints versus Cardinals. I'm going to be honest. I usually try to root for the Saints, but I don't even know who their quarterback is right now. It's Andy Dalton. But seriously, between Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill, who's their quarterback? Until they find a legit quarterback that they can believe in and be able to operate with, I'm not picking the Saints no more this year. I'm not picking them no more this year. They still have weapons. They have an amazing defense. They have talent all over their defense. But I'm not picking them no more this year. And as I say every week, if I don't see Kyler Murray on Call of Duty, then I think he's in the playbook, which I ain't seen him on Call of Duty this week. So I think Kyler Murray been in that playbook. So I'm going with the Cardinals to beat the Saints this week, next week for Thursday Night Football. Let's see what we got here in the comments. Josh Allen shouldn't even be in the conversation. Absolutely right, Justin. I don't even think he should be nowhere near the conversation of what we're talking about when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. Not even close. Patrick Mahomes is number one, and no one is a close second. No one is a close second. So he stands on a stratosphere by himself. All right, we done finished that topic up before we actually ran out of time, so we're going to go ahead and go on to Around the NBA. Now, here for Around the NBA, some of the viewers that are listening right now, if you guys want to just talk about some of the things that you guys have seen in the NBA that you want to talk about, we can absolutely do that. The first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about how delusional Patrick Beverley is. Now, when he first came there, when he signed with the Lakers, he talked about, put me on that team, we win a championship, it's my team, they're playing with me because I made the playoffs, they didn't, to just the overconfidence that Patrick Beverley has for the situation of coming on to the Lakers. And we saw that play out in the preseason game when he called a huddle and Russell Westbrook didn't come over there to the huddle. We saw what's to come in the future. And honestly, Lakers, you guys got a problem on your hand. You guys have a problem on your hand. You got to figure that out. At this point, Russell Westbrook doesn't look like he wants to be there. He doesn't look like he's going to be able to coexist with Patrick Beverley. I've heard reports about Russell Westbrook coming off the bench this year, which I think would be the most impactful way for him to play with the Lakers, is coming in with the second unit and be able to be the Russ that we know he is. But I don't see it working out because Russ also has to take the challenge and accept coming off the bench to be as impactful as possible. And I don't see it happening. I see Russell Westbrook traded at the trade deadline because they have to figure out how to make the season as successful as possible. But really, they should have been trading Russell Westbrook in the offseason so they can establish some chemistry throughout the season so that they can have success in the playoffs. But I'm afraid that they're going to end up making the trade too late, and it's going to be another bum year for the Lakers. I might be wrong, but I doubt it. Also around the NBA, everybody's talking about the shot Ben Simmons put up at the outdoor practice. He's got to be trolling. His form never looked like that. Like the form that he did when he took that shot, I've never seen Ben Simmons' form look like that. His form wasn't pretty to begin with, but it was like a little herky-jerky, and then he shot that air ball. But maybe he's just that much in his head. I mean, we've seen it before with The point guard that got drafted to the Sixers and traded to the Magic, name is losing me right now. But he was a number 1 overall pick, and we saw his shot go from a smooth jump shot to herky-jerky, and I still believe all of that was in his head, even though they said they found something medically wrong that messed up his shot. Markelle Fultz, that's the name. Markelle Fultz. So we've seen it happen before where somebody went from having a certain form and it went herky-jerky. Ben Simmons was never a great shooter to begin with, but I also don't think Ben Simmons has to be a great shooter to be successful in this league. So, going on into the next topic here, can we talk about? So this topic today is, can we talk about corner beggars? I got a couple of examples that's happened to me this week. And Soup just comes on and says, nobody wants them. I don't know if that was in regards to Russell Westbrook or corner beggars. But I had one corner beggar come up to me yesterday. And he asked me, can I just get $1? I'm really, really hungry. Can I just get $1 to be able to get something to eat? And he looked like he may have had some, maybe an alcoholic, maybe some prior drug history. I wasn't sure, but it's not my place to judge. It's not my place to even worry about what he's going to do with the money. The question is, do I want to give him the money or not? So he asked for $1. I gave him $3. Now, whatever he does with that $3 is whatever he wants to do with that $3. But he was very humble in the way he approached me, and he was very humble in the way he received the money and how appreciative he was that I stopped and gave him some money. So that is me choosing to give him money as a blessing. And I'm not worried about what he does with the money, because it's, hey, God put it on my heart to bless this man at that moment. Now, today, I go out to pick up my wife a cheesecake. As I'm going to go pick her up a cheesecake, I'm at Cheesecake Factory. There's a family sitting on the corner that is asking for money. I have 2 kids, and we need money to be able to pay rent. I see the sign. I go inside, get me the cheesecake, get my car to head back out to get back home. And the beggar has the sign. I'm driving to pull up to the stop sign, and he steps in front of my car and is like, hey, I need money. And at this moment, I'm thinking to myself, why is he being so aggressive? Like, you got to be in a place of humility where you're at, but neither here or there. If I choose not to give you money, it's because I choose not to give you money. You're stepping in front of my car and demanding that I give you money and help you out. That's not going to help your situation. And that also changes the way I react. So, I'll be honest, I may have used some profanity to tell him to get out from in front of my car, but it just threw me off that he was so comfortable in asking for money that he stepped in front of my car and was aggressive about it. That appalled me. And I mean, I won't tell you exactly what I said, but I was like, hey, you need to get out from in front of my car. And he moved out the way because I just started driving. And he was going to move out the way or not. But it was the craziest thing. I've never had a beggar be that aggressive when asking for money. So just threw me off a little bit. Thought I'd share it with you guys. We need to, I don't know what's going on with this world. People are getting more and more off base than ever before. So, thank you guys for tuning in this week's episode of Radio Dario. We're going to finish it off with my song of the week. Today, the song of the week is going to be Package Store by Big Crit, because some of the lyrics hit with me today, especially with that beggar stepping in front of my car. But let's go ahead and ride out to this. Check out the song. If you heard it before, vibe with it. If you haven't heard it before, check it out. Let's see here.
Just the other day when I was out at the store, so I Just the other day when I was out of the stove. So I preach a hill creeping, trying to bang on a hoe. That same motherfucker used to bang on my door, hollering by donations for cause, cause collections is low. Damn shame, but I got changed, so I give to the plate. I know he buying pussy, he don't lie to my face. Said that I should cut my grass, cause I'm surrounded by snakes. Not sure if that was metaphorical, if he had seen one today. I know that he said, well maybe I beg the differ. The only souls you like to touch were the legs of strippers. The only reason I know that, cause I used to tip them. How could I judge? Well, in this world, we both some niggas, and we both some killers, and we both some thieves. Only God can save us all. What he spoke to me, what he hoped to be, was a better man in due time. But he fell short trying to sip on new wine. In the neighborhood package store, get some wine for spirits, some gossip for your mind. If you dying to hear the neighborhood package store, silver and gold for the low, and some papers for your walls you can roll. In the neighborhood package store, mixing the good with the bad. Which flavors of life's labor have you had? In the neighborhood package store, don't need directions for the gunshot. It's on the same block of the neighborhood package store. Click, against my head when a Glock from a hoodlum on the block. Whisper to me what you got, you'll get shot if you refuse to come up off that. What made you floss that outside the package store? You know we out here like wolves searching for antelope. Lambs and sheep, prey on wheat. Don't you reach under your seat, I'll bust your head like cantaloupe. Then I replied out for a nightcap, then bring my tool with me, cause I assumed that I'd be right back. Shouter said the neighborhood was cool and it wasn't like that. But here you are with a loaded gun, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna fight back. So he went on to loosen up on the aggression and proceeded to lecture me on the troubles of recession. And ain't that many jobs out here hiring convicted felons. So instead of buying what he want, he taking what they selling, then billing into the darkness, forever on the grind, addicted to the feeling of wine. In the neighborhood package store, get some wine for spirits, some gossip for your mind. If you dying to hear the neighborhood package store, silver and gold for the low, and some papers for your walls you can roll. In the neighborhood package store, mixing the good with the bad. Which flavors of life's labor have you had? In the neighborhood package store, don't need directions for the gunshot. It's on the same block of the neighborhood package store. Gripping golden grain, flying like thunderbirds. Easy Jesus, watch it crying while I swing swerve. Molotov bottle, alcohol, not a title now. Could remove the kind of headache that a Falcon cause in the streets. Don Julio, my peeps, Quavo, chasing hoes, Captain Morgan with my feet, standing tall on them. Till I rendezvous with Grey Goose, cool, great, salty taste, almost threw up on my shoes. Hypnotic blues, Bloody Mary red, codeine purple seem to take me to the edge. One more shot, all I need just to hit the ledge. Toss and turn, crash and burn, just to crawl up in my bed. Going to my head, seeing circles lately, chasing cream daily. I don't mean baby. Vodka tried to kill me, but Sequin G and save me. Been a customer, so why they play me? In the neighborhood package store, get some wine for spirits, some gossip for your mind. If you dying to hear the neighborhood package store, silver and gold for the low, and some papers for your walls you can roll. In the neighborhood package store, mixing the good with the bad. Which flavors of life's labor have you had? In the neighborhood package store, don't need directions for the gunshot. It's on the same block of the neighborhood package store.
Finna goddamn hit the strip club and shit, man. Shawty goddamn be dancing in this bitch, be killing that shit.
Yo, let me see ID.
Yeah, I got your hold up, partner. Hell no.
All right, you got patch.
Thank you guys again for tuning into episode 8 of Radio Dario. I know I had the underlying music running there for a little bit. Sorry about that. We'll be better next week. Thanks again for all the commentary and participation. Again, as always, drop feedback in what you like about the show, what you think we could do different, what can be better. I always love the feedback, and I love to adjust off of that. And we just like to have fun with this show. You guys have a wonderful day, and let's go Chiefs!